Good night, everybody, or good evening. Rich Pellegrino, Rich the Equalizer Pellegrino from the Global Woke Institute, at Global Woke Institute on YouTube and on social media pages, website www.howwokemi.org, where you can find more of these messages, shorts and longer videos as well. Tonight, what we'll do is explore the hypocrisy. I'm glad that in one way that Trump is running and that people are coming out of their closets to support him, to show the hypocrisy of what we've always been saying about the hypocrisy of America. Tonight, we'll talk about the hypocrisy of the so called Christian, conservative Christians. Faith in Georgia, we have what's called the Faith and Freedom Coalition. Conservative Christians, Christian nationalists. Okay, first of all, let me say that there's nothing Christian. This is churchianity, pure American churchianity. There's nothing biblical or Christian about any of those groups. Okay, the Georgia Faith and Freedom Coalition. Faith in what? By the way, God or your higher power or the universe, the Most High have sent me to channel this message to you and to call you out, to call out the Pharisees of churchianity. Okay, there's nothing Christian about you, nothing biblical. In the Bible, it says, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, but you want to get involved with telling the government what to do, influencing the government, and supporting a candidate that is so anti-Christian, that is so immoral, an immoral monster, MAGA, a MAGA maggot, okay, a fraud, a criminal, a sexual predator, a habitual liar, a thief. The list goes on. If those are the qualities in the candidate you support, then that must be also the character and qualities of the pastors, of your church leaders, of you pastors, because that is what you emulate. That's what you copy. That's what you prefer or prefer as an example to our children. Okay, so there's nothing biblical. Okay, Christ would come back and say, I know you're not, and would cast you out like he did the money changers, because that's really what you're worshiping is mammon, is money, is green. In God we trust? No. Your God is money, is materialism, is power, worldly power. Okay? The Bible says, you're the most uh, hateful people. You hate and judge people. The Bible says everyone is a sinner, but you decide that you're not. It says, cast the first stone if you sin not, but you cast the stones based on race, based on gender, based on sexual orientation. You judge, okay? You're not a Christian. So the faith, don't use and blaspheme the name of Christ. By the way, who was way more woke than any one of us, way more liberal. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. He didn't say love your Christian neighbor, love your American neighbor, love your straight neighbor as yourself. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Okay? So let's throw away the Christian and faith part of the Faith and Freedom Coalition. Now let's look at freedom. That's a joke. You advocate freedom? You can't even advocate for woman, half of God's creation, to have freedom over their own bodies. Okay? You could not advocate and abolish slavery. You supported slavery. The same people you supported Jim Crow, and you support today wage slaves and actual slavery. The 13th Amendment didn't abolish slavery for those incarcerated. So you use them in your companies and corporations for slave labor, just like you use undocumented immigrants that you rail against, but you hire them, just like the MAGA Trump hired them in all of his businesses. And so please don't be such hypocrites. Freedom, throw away freedom. No faith, you have no faith, you have no freedom. Okay? Now, conservative, you've co-opted and abused that term as well, just like you've co-opted the Republican Party, the faith, Christianity, and so forth. You're not conservative at all. You advocate spending trillions on boondoggle military adventures, 900 bases around the world for what you call American Christian domination. Okay, you advocate spending trillions on that, wasting taxpayers' money while you give yourself and your corporations tax breaks, and the churches don't pay taxes and should. Um, and so you spend billions and trillions on killing, on murdering people around the world, and building walls here that won't keep anyone out, never will. Just symbols of oppression and hate. So don't talk about being conservative at all. Okay? And then the last but not least, Christian nationalism. Okay, there's nothing again Christian about nationalism. Okay, even our own founding document says all humans are created equal. Not all Americans, not all Christians, not all whatever you are, white people, whatever you think is superior, your false superiorities. Okay, all people are created equal and are entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Okay, so that's the hypocrisy. You're supporting the most non-Christian, non-Christ-like person in the history of this country, and you're hypocrites. And that's it for tonight. Thanks, and I'll be happy to debate publicly, privately, any one of you, any pastor, any church, anyone who claims the name of Christ. Okay? The only true Christian leader that I followed and I follow is Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Study his teachings, and you'll learn how to be a true Christian. Ciao.